Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I'm in a boomy, echoey area, and it probably sounds like it, but I'm just going to shoot my video here anyway because I'm out of the sun, because it's super sunny, and I'm out of the wind, and it's super windy. It's done blew my hat across the road once today. I've been out shooting today, collecting images for a photo project I've started that I wasn't really officially starting on, but I kind of was and didn't realize it. I've got two projects kind of going in the background. One of them is night photos and like motion blur, photos kind of representing motion. They almost all have motion blur in them. I've starting to accumulate a fairly large folder of them. That will probably make its way into a photo book, I'm pretty sure. And I've been dabbling in these negative space photos, and I took one the other day and I showed it to my daughter Sierra, and she liked it too. That was the first comment she had when she saw the photo, was she loved the negative space. The negative space kind of photography for me is really intriguing because it's about pretty much what's not in the photo as what is in the photo. When you black out a portion of the photo, it kind of leads the mind to wonder. It's really interesting when you think about it. And I've always been intrigued by that. But today it's like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon, sun's directly overhead, and it's bright, super bright. A front moved through last night, so the sky is really clean today, We washed all the crud out of the sky last night, so the air is really clear and crisp. Well, that creates some nice contrast, but when it's directly overhead, you have to like super search for the high contrast images. And what I'm trying to do now is figure out what images can I get in this kind of light. Because I wind up midday shooting more often than not. And what comes to mind for me is two things. One is a YouTuber that I've started watching as of late, and his channel's called The Photographic Eye. And he says, he starts his videos out with something like, how's it, or something like that. That's his kind of signature greeting. And he just talks to the camera. He rarely ever shows images, but he talks about photography, and that's his kind of niche. He's good at like storytelling and like conveying information verbally. He's real good at that, and it's really interesting to me to listen to his videos. A lot of times I won't watch them. I'll watch them sometimes, but most of the time I play them in the truck while I'm driving as a podcast. And he does a really good job of making them where you can use them both ways. But he does a lot of like photographer, spotlights or whatever, where he'll talk about photographers. And I'm not sure if he's done Eggleston or not. I think he has, but I ran across the photographer William Eggleston, and the story is that he's from Memphis. I'm gonna give you just a touch of background on Eggleston. He was from Memphis, and he got into photography when color film was becoming available more readily, and it was not super expensive. So up to this point in time, all of the greats had always shot black and white. And to be considered like a serious photographer, genre photographer at the time, you had to shoot black and white. That was the ideology. And he shot color. On top of the fact that he shot color, at one point he supposedly, the story goes, he told his mother that there was nothing interesting in Memphis to shoot. And she told him to shoot the uninteresting. And, he's basically made his photography career out of shooting the uninteresting and making it interesting. One of his most famous photos is of the tricycle in the street in front of a house. And, that's the iconic one that everybody goes to. And if you search for William Eggleston photos, that one will come up in the search results. And he just photographed the mundane, like a car sitting in a parking lot or whatever. And what he's done is he's captured everyday life around him. That's all he's done. You know, he's basically took a snapshot of where he was at in time and frozen it and saved it for posterity. And today, I took that ideology a little bit to heart and started doing a little of that. You know, just capturing some of the more mundane, because some of the stuff, you know, I was just seeing things and I was like, well, let's just try it, you know. And like right here behind you is a sign that says no skateboarding or aggressive skating in the park grounds per city ordinance number 11028, section 2527. And then right under it has a no loitering sign. This is a park. What else are you supposed to do in a park? A park is for loitering. I mean, it has dadgum picnic tables, for crying out loud, but it's got no loitering. It's a public city park. So I captured a photo of that, and the irony is there's a 3-step terrace right here in front of the sign, and the bottom 2 steps are just massively ground from skateboard tricks on them. You can see where they've been sliding down the step edge on the skateboards. I mean, it's just black on both of those steps from the tires rubbing on the steps. I thought the irony of the no skateboarding or aggressive skating, and right below it's where they've been grinding on the steps. So I got a photo of that. A cool little juxtaposition photo. And then there's like one of some power meter boxes and one of a parking meter kiosk. You know, I got a few house photos from up on the hill on the North Shore here. I'd never walked up on top of the hill. There's some really beautiful Victorian era homes up there. Maybe newer. They may be early 1900s, but they seem to be from about that mid 1890s to maybe 19 teens, that period of time. The brickwork and the architecture, I love that architecture. One of them even still got the slate roof on it. If you don't know what slate roofs are, you need to look it up. They're the coolest roof ever. It's a roof made out of stone. Basically, it's fireproof, weatherproof. You know, the only thing that can happen is that it can crack and break, because slate shingles are fragile. They're about like glass. So, you know, once you get them laid, as long as nothing hits them, they'll last virtually forever. And if I understand it right, they nail them on with copper nails. When copper corrodes, copper oxide is toxic. So like mold and stuff won't grow on those copper nails. So it prevents molding. But yeah, it's interesting. Trying to kind of get back in the groove, you might say. Went on that trip to Central America and done a bunch of animal photography, wildlife, chased animals and photographed them. Did a little bit of like vacation photos, and then I really haven't done much street photography per se. But I'm back in town now, and I've been trying to figure out what I want to do. And I've got my photo projects sorted out. I got 2 of them going now that I really like to work on. But I've noticed I like to work with the darkness, like nighttime and negative space. Seems to kind of be where I'm following. Like my street photography, I like shooting at night and getting the motion blur. It's just something about adding the motion to the photo. I don't know what it is about it. Do y'all like to shoot motion blur? Do you like to shoot night? What's y'all's favorite style of photography? What do you like to chase? I know Bass Angler is going to say eagles, and Cuban Rum's going to say Cuban barbers, and Phil Thatch is going to say something like the tufted titmouse. Ray will probably say the Chattanooga Mocs volleyball team. I think he said he liked volleyball better than he liked tennis. I can't name all you guys that I know. Like there's Aaron and George Nagata in Chicago, and dude, there's so many of you I've met through this channel that it's hard to understand. I bought a lens for Leica from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. Well, there's a Leica trading forum, and it's self-policed pretty well. You can buy with confidence in there. I bought a lens from a guy. I got a 35mm f1.4 Voigtlander, the little knocked on. Me and him got to chatting. They shipped it today. Me and him got to chatting on Facebook Messenger, and he's got a YouTube channel. So let me get you his name, and y'all all go over and check his channel out. His channel name is Dylan Fan. He's holding like an M of some kind, maybe an M6 maybe, and then he's got but yeah, he's got 500, 600 subscribers. Pretty cool little channel. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a good once over pretty soon. But if y'all get a chance, go over and check him out. And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go see Tim Childers' video about Murphy's Law. Epic video. He's just talking to the camera, but it's hilarious. You need to watch it. Trust me. It's epic. It's literally Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will. It's worth your time to watch that video. You guys, I appreciate you. Y'all have been wonderful to me. Y'all have done me so much good. This channel has brought me so much, not solace, that ain't the right word, so much peace. It really has. You know, you get the occasional goofball who's hateful or whatever, but I overlook them. There's so much more good than bad. This channel was so much worth my time, and it kept me from going stir crazy through the scam-demic or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but I was able to continue to make videos here in Chattanooga. We didn't get locked down like they did in lots of places in the world, so we were able to move around, and I was able to continue to collect content, and it kept me from going crazy, you might say. So you guys are still dealing with the lockdown situations like Australia and Canada, and those come immediately to mind. Don't lose hope. The sun's coming up on the horizon. It'll end. They said the Spanish flu pandemic, I guess it was, back in the 1917 or whatever. You remember the Spanish flu was a problem. It lasted like 4 years before they got to where they didn't have to really worry about it. So, we're 2 years in, so it should be all right. Ever since I've come back from Costa Rica, my nose had given me trouble. Something here is blooming that wasn't there, because I had no problems in Central America, but now that I'm here, something's blooming and it's bugging me. But until next time, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and what am I going to tell you to do? Get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.